Hey guys, Larry here with Creaky Chair Models. I'm doing a quick video with an update to the speedometer circuit that I put out, I guess about a week and a half ago. In front of you is the original speedometer. I've changed the code a little bit on this one, but most of my friends are in HO, so I created just a simple little HO one. It's much smaller. This one, the original here, is 12 inches. This one is down to about 6. I did some experiments. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit and I'll show you the difference a little bit later. But here in the portion right here, these sensors were made up in the originals. They came as little sensors. I'll spin it around real quick. They came as real small sensors. And they worked really well, but they were labor intensive. So, you have to solder the resistor, put a bunch of wires, and then get it ready to go. So on the new one, I did an experiment, and the code basically stayed the same. But I moved to these inexpensive sensors that are about 80 cents a piece, I think, on Amazon. You put B plus 5 volts and ground, and then it has a signal line out that comes over to the Arduino. So that's the major change to it. This one, again, is for HO, so it doesn't have all the buttons and bells and whistles and things like that of the 3 scales I did on the other one. So that's the hardware change. There is one more. I used a larger voltage regulator here. On the original, I used this small one, which will be being changed out. They work fine on DC and DCC to regulate the voltage down to 5 volts. Problem is, they don't like pure AC unless you put a filter cap on them. If I've got to go to that effort for this thing, same price basically. I think these might be 10 cents cheaper. This original one this one over here, they're like 80 cents. So I think the total cost is 70 cents on the other one. So if you have to add the cap, it's basically the same price point. I'll hook up some power here in a second and show you the difference in the code that I did. Okay, so it's coming on. It shows a 0 as it's initializing. It'll go to all 8s here in a second. There it is. The all 8s indicates it's ready to go. By the way, I'm just using a pencil to hold it up so that you get a little better angle on it. Those little sensors I showed you actually have an LED, that light that comes on to tell you it's on. And it also has an LED that comes on to tell you when And if you want to see, I'll go ahead and pan over. You can see the green LEDs behind my finger here. So when it's covered, you see the other one comes on, and there you go. It's been covered. So the biggest change I made is I got rid of the LED indicating this and indicating the sensor being covered, because you can see it if you just look down in the back. The hardest part, actually ended up being very easy, was I wanted the speed to stay on longer. I tried various times and ended up with making 5 seconds being the amount of time. So I'll show you. If you get above 70, it blinks at a very fast rate like that. And since I'm using my hand, it's kind of hard to get it, to be accurate. But between 50 and 70, it's a little bit slower rate. So let me see if I can get that. Yeah, there we go. That's a slow rate. So this one's much smaller, easy to carry, runs off a 9-volt battery, which you could easily mount. There's tons of room in there. You could put a little 9-volt battery if you wanted to run it that way, and just either put an on-off switch or just unplug the battery. So this case, I'm using my bench supply, and let me see if I can scroll up here. And you can see the mess back there, but the bench supply will show you that it's drawing right at 110 milliamps which is nothing. You know, that's a couple of grain of wheat bulbs. So you can knock that down a little bit if you're worried about current draw by just changing the display brightness in the code. I kind of like having it bright. The other thing I did with this is when I put the decals on it, I went ahead and I clear coated it with gloss coat to seal the decals, standard protocol. And then I put a matte finish on it. And the display came out a lot different. It just looks cleaner. I was doing a little repair work, so you see right there, but I'll sand that down in a bit. That's a Tamiya putty filling in a little gap. So, anyway, there it is. It's been fun. I actually have a dual version of this. It's going onto a friend's layout. I'm in the middle of constructing it on. I'll shoot a video when that's done. His displays are bright green. So as a side, today is the 16th of February. These displays have gone up almost 40 to 50%, and delays from China are huge. You can get them from China at almost the same price as Amazon. I did order some 1-inch ones. I tried one from Amazon. It just didn't seem bright enough. It may have been defective. So I've ordered some from China for like $6. They were actually cheaper than these small ones. And I will report when I get them in 4 or 6 weeks. At any rate, guys, thanks for letting me prattle on. This is probably the longest video I shot in a while, but it was worthwhile.